often do you end your day saying, I just don't have energy? I just don't have the energy. Or you avoid doing something. I don't have the energy. There are reasons that this happens, and there are ways that you can eliminate it or help reduce that. So that's what today's Janice and Annie chit chat are about. We're going to spend our time today talking about our energy. I'm going to start with you, Janice. Why don't you tell us some of the things that you do to start your day or during the day that help you center and get centered and grounded and balance your energy?
Well, scripture says to give no room to the enemy. So I make sure that if there's anything that's in me that should not be, like resentment or aggravation or jealousy, anything that would not serve my spirit, I make sure I empty it out. It's like we're a container, and I make sure that my container, that I only hold good things.
Yeah.
So that's one. And ways that I do it is I do yoga, I meditate, and basically I make sure that my words are impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is I make sure, and sometimes I slip, that I'm very positive. Like if I look in the mirror, not to say, ew, what is that? So I just make sure. And if I do say something that's negative, I correct it immediately. Also, I make sure that not just that my words are impeccable for myself, I make sure it's impeccable for others. Like I try to not gossip because I know that when we gossip, we hurt our own spirit. So I'm very aware of my words. So I make sure that I'm just super mindful. And that's about it, really.
Yeah.
And forgiveness, like, the other thing about forgiveness, like if our listeners, we talk about that all the time, empty out that feeling, that resentment, and choose to forgive. Again, it's a decision. It's not a feeling, because you do get beauty for ashes, and it's just your day is better because I just try to stay in a positive mindset.
Yeah. And you really are. You are so positive all the time. And I think that's why we get along so well, is because
Yes.
I am too. I really
Yes,
consider
you
myself a
are.
positive
Yes, you
person.
are.
So in 1 second, I'll get into my routine of how I get myself centered and grounded. But probably at work, like I'd show up at a meeting, hey, everybody, virtual. My last 8 years I worked virtual. And people were like, are you always happy? And I'd be like, actually, no. I mean, I show up, I'm very intentionally happy in a lot of circumstances, but no, I'm not happy all the time. I'm not positive all the time. I do have times, obviously, where I get anxiety, where I get stressed, and
Yes.
because I'm so sensitive, I'm emotionally sensitive, and not meaning that my feelings get hurt sensitive, but I can tend to wind up going, getting maybe more upset than someone else would be under a circumstance. But let me get back to what I do to center my day. Um, I need to take quiet time in the morning or some type of time to balance
That
myself.
coffee.
Yeah. Now, when my children were little, when they were young, right? You put them to bed and then you want to get as much sleep as possible. So, you wake up when the kids wake up. I would intentionally get up probably an hour before my kids. So when it was time to go to school and things like that, sometimes it would be like maybe 5 and whatever time it was, because I would journal, I would do some form of meditation, whether it be guided or on my own or exercise or something. And I remember on weekends or where maybe like a holiday where we were out late, so I slept late, and where the kids would wake up the same time as I did, I remember just having this like, not that I didn't love, it had nothing to do with the kids, but because I didn't ground myself at the start of the day, I
Right.
felt robbed or something like that. So
Yes.
now I'm very mindful. I know I need that. I know I need that. Other people may not. I also know I need 8 hours of sleep. So once
Yeah.
you
Sleep
become
is,
aware, once you become aware of what puts you into your balanced state, then really
mm-hmm.
honor it. Some people might not need that time in the morning. Some people do. So now what I do is power pose every morning. I use my
Uh-huh.
phone, right? I use my phone, I use the voice recorder, and I have 1 minute of affirmations, and I just play it, and so I don't have to think about affirmations, right? And I play it, and I stand there like this, and it's usually in my kitchen counter. I look at my kitchen counter, and as each affirmation comes out, I repeat it. So I do that 1 minute every
Beautiful.
morning. It's so quick and easy.
Can you just give one affirmation that you say just to give
No,
someone
no,
an
I
example?
probably have about 15 or 20 of them. But
No, I know. One example?
oh, you want
Like,
an example? Oh, go ahead.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh,
Oh,
you want me to give it?
you go ahead and give it. But I'm trying. Oh wait. So my power pose affirmations are: I am resourceful. I am independent.
Good.
I have strength. I have courage. I live in the moment. I am free of fear. I surround myself with supportive people. I am I am, I improve myself daily. I have a hero's mindset. I
I
have
love
a
it.
billionaire's mindset. I create
Yes.
generational healing and I create
Yes.
generational wealth. And I go through that
Amen.
twice. What?
Yes. I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
That
what?
is powerful.
That's my power
Yes.
pose. So
Yeah. Wonder Woman, Superman pose or Wonder Woman pose. That's what they call that.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And that lowers your cortisol levels. Yeah.
yeah. So I do, that's quick
Increases
and easy,
energy.
right? But then I do I like guided visual. I got guided meditations. So it's probably about 3 minutes. And
Mm-hmm.
I use that. I also create a lot of my own, which I have give
Yes.
people access to if they choose to. Um, I do visualization, three
Mm-hmm.
to 5 minutes. Again, focusing on something that I want, focus on something that I'm creating for myself and take on
Yes.
all the emotions of what I will have when I get it, what all my five senses will experience. I do some form of exercise. I'm not like an hour jumping around, sweating type of
Mm-hmm.
person in the morning. But I just found this new app called Fit Coach. So a little shout out to Fit Coach. It gives me some quick, easy exercises to do, but I do yoga. And then a friend of mine, her name is Annette Rudge, and you can look her up on Facebook and you can also look her up on Instagram. She's got something called Emoji Yogi,
Oh,
EMOJIYOGI. I'll put a link to it in our comments. And it's just this really quick uh, moving meditation to do every day to kind of set yourself. So
mm-hmm.
I think the main thing, and over the years I've done so many different things. One of them was answer these four questions, and every day it can never be the same question. What I like about myself is, what I love about myself is, what I admire about myself is, what I appreciate about myself is. So answer those four questions. Now, a friend of mine, we would both do it and we would send it to each other. We got
Oh,
out of the
cool.
habit, but we were doing it for about 3 years. And you can
Wow.
never repeat what you did before. Now, the
Wow,
person, it
that's
was a
amazing.
coach that I was working with, had me do it because I wasn't feeling good about myself. And then I
Right.
would come like, I don't feel good. But she goes, Annie, I'm giving you a tool. You're not using it. So, and it was so uncomfortable at first.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I need to give a shout out to Lisa Nichols because she might be I believe that she said, I believe my coach said she learned that from Lisa Nichols. Anyway, those just answering those four sentences, again, it's great affirmations.
It is.
So over the years, I've done quite a few different things and I just keep shifting to whatever feels comfortable, whatever fits in my schedule. But I intentionally make doctor appointments or schedule my work day or whatever it is around making sure I have that time in the morning. So those.
Another thing too, like for me, I feel like because I'm religious, that there's no problem too big for God. Okay, so it may be big for me, and I always find peace. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, God, this is a big one, but I know this issue is not too big for you.
Hmm.
So just having the trust in God, like in a higher being,
Yeah.
someone that has my back,
Yeah.
is always, peace for me. It always brings me peace that I have that.
Yeah.
So that's enough. Prayer is so powerful. It really is. Today is Good Friday. So today I started my day with the Divine Mercy,
Hmm.
and it feels good. You feel the energy. When you pray, there's an energy you literally feel. Just like when we did that loving a baby, that
Hmm.
love
That was
exercise,
amazing. Yeah.
how you feel
Yeah.
when you love a baby, how you feel when you love a pet, and then you pivot it to you, how you feel when you love you. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
match that energy the way you gave it so freely to the baby or the person that's in heaven that you
Yeah.
admire so much. Match it, pivot, and bring it to you and elevate it. So that's energy. That's when you literally feel energy, that it comes like it's a magnet, and then you feel this magnetic force,
Hmm.
and that's what we're talking about, like prayer. We gave the example of Dr. Emoto's experiment,
With the
where
water.
the molecules change because of prayer or music or song or intention. There is a molecular
Molecular
response.
counts too.
Yes, response, to from us to the atmosphere. So it's really, it's all real, not hokey pokey.
Yeah.
It's very important to be aligned and be coherent with your heart and
Yeah.
your mind. The body needs coherency. It needs to be in sync with one another. And that's peace. That's what we call in peace, when we take out the negative and we step from the unconscious mind into the conscious.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too
No,
scientific.
I
I
know,
think
but
I,
you know what? I
you,
do
you
want
know
to
what I'm
bring up.
saying.
I want to bring up prayer, and especially today, as you mentioned, is Good Friday. So you did it this different novena or prayer for today.
Hmm.
Whether people come together in a church or religious organization, a synagogue, or whether it be maybe a medication a medication camp. We did that in high school. Meditation center, where yoga, right, where people
Yeah.
come together and they are.
Before an election, tons of energy. You feel tons of energy before an election.
Yeah.
That energy before they call it, you feel the winner. You feel, it's that energy.
Yeah, but coming together, as you had mentioned, with prayer or spirit. So if we're talking about getting ourselves grounded, one of the reasons why coming together for a wedding, or whether it be at a
Yes.
catering hall or in a church or wherever it is, it's a crowd of people
Mm-hmm.
joining in the same intention. So if the
Yes.
couple is getting
Yes.
married, everyone there at the wedding, their intention is for, to
The cup.
blessings for that couple,
Yeah.
honoring their love, honoring their commitment. So whatever speaks to a person, whether it be a church or a specific
Mm-hmm.
religion, or just having a crowd of people get together for vows, that
Mm-hmm.
it's that energy that comes together. The same thing with a passing. When people, come together for some type of
Mm-hmm.
funeral or burial services, you
Oh.
are thinking about the person's life and honoring your experience and your relationship with them. And my
Mm-hmm.
belief is that we do continue on, our soul.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may or may not believe that,
Right.
but regardless, it's still a group of people joining our energy towards a specific cause. But like you also said, cheerleading or sports or elections,
Mm-hmm.
like I love hockey. I like
Yeah.
hockey. You call
Me
me a
too.
tomboy because I like
And it's
hockey.
the, I think
But
I'll do it tomorrow.
when I love the New York Islanders,
Because
I
I was
call them
going
my
to the
boys.
ball.
They're all grown men. They're professional athletes. They're my boys. I'm like, they got a goal. The whole place jumps up. Like that's energy. We're all coming
Yeah.
together,
And
cheering on our team.
honestly, Annie, they could actually measure a room. There's a tool. I don't know what the tool's name. I have no idea what it is. It looks like a star. And they actually can measure the energy in the room. So Dr. Joe Dispenza actually did that. He'll take a group of people before he starts his seminars, and you see like he has this map and you see where the energy is. And then afterwards, he's literally somehow measuring by this metal thing that he has, measures energy. I don't know what it's called, but
A
it's so
metal
funny.
thing. It's a metal
Yeah,
thing.
metal thing. But it's funny because you're saying that you feel that energy in the room. It could actually scientifically be measured.
Huh.
Yeah,
I don't
interesting.
doubt it. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
frequency. Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's a
It's a
frequency.
frequency. It's a
Absolutely.
frequency,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a vibration.
Now,
Yeah.
you had a couple of things or a couple of things that you were going to show that you are personally working on right now.
Well, you know what I did? I did this little thing here. Okay. I'll show you. All right, let me see. So I did this here. And this circle, I don't know if you can see, there's a circle in the
But I can
middle.
see the circle with lines off of it and then notes all around it.
Right.
So what is
So,
what's going on
so
there?
what I did is in the circle, I did our inner thoughts, okay, our inner world.
Okay.
It's our inner world, our thoughts and our feelings, okay? And then I took these arrows coming out, okay? And what the point of this is where you placed your attention, that's where your energy goes,
Yeah.
okay? So we're talking about energy today. So I'm asking our audience and I'm asking you that I want you to ask yourself this question. Who is the person I was born to be? Who is the person, not the person I learned to be? Who is the person I was born to be? And what I'm saying is that a lot of times we end up being someone that gave us our identity. It's not who we were born to be. It's what we learned to be. It could be, daddy was a financial guy and now we're in the financial business, but we were really meant to be a police officer. We were really meant to be, a hockey player, and sometimes our life doesn't go where it's supposed to go because our energy is learned energy. It's habitual energy. Our day, we're like actually, doing the same day over and over, like we're
Yeah.
hypnotized.
Yeah.
Monday is the same as Tuesday, Tuesday's Wednesday, Thursday's Friday. It's like the same day. The weekends are also, they mimic one another. So this is your inner world. And what I'm asking our audience to do is start thinking about all the things you give your energy to. Okay. So if you're giving your energy, you could do this. I want you to think about it. You make a little arrow. It's like a sun. Okay. And then they make like a big giant sun with little arrows on it. Okay. So you have your future, you have your problems, your bank account, illness, you don't feel good. Why don't you feel good? Your neck hurts, your back hurts. You have appointments. Do I have the right clothing? What am I going to wear today? News, TV, computer, Twitter, YouTube, cell phone, tweets, Instagram, TikTok, emails, pain, body, face. Is my face okay? Do I look young enough, old enough? What is this? In-laws, friends, relatives. Okay, now friends comes with something else. Is it friends that you affirm your addiction to suffering? My sister, I have to tell you, my sister Michelle, like sometimes abuse, like if something happens, I always call her and she's the one that gets my, So, the friends, to affirm certain things, it's addiction, pets, food, your ex, how much energy are you giving your ex? Is that also going into resentment, aggravation, frustration, alienation, partner, job, your boss, all this energy, your coworkers. And what does that mean? The coworkers, is this affirming your addiction to competition? Is it a healthy competition or is it a negative competition? Your enemies, oh my God, this is confirming your addiction, that feeling that you have to hate because it, elicits that response from you, your enemies, your car, your house, your money, your past, all this stuff that we have to give energy to. Well, a lot of this on the list, you really don't need to give energy to. There's a lot on this list you can take out. One would be if the energy is resentment from a coworker, there's, maybe you don't need a couple of the friends that you have because they have so many problems and they're bringing you down and they're not positive in your life. They're not serving you. Your past, if your past isn't serving you, let it go. You need to move forward. And you can't move forward if you're living in your past. You can't move forward. Like I started today talking about a container. we have a container in our body. We have to empty out the negative if we want to put
Yep.
in the positive. But if you are giving all this energy that's coming from your inner world, your thoughts and your feelings, your inside, you're giving it to all of these things, there isn't enough room chemically for you to recreate your life in the area you want to recreate,
Yeah.
because there's just not enough room. So you have to empty out the things that you can empty out and not give energy where energy doesn't deserve to have energy.
Yeah.
Maybe spend some, if your FaceTime is just about bragging, maybe spend some less time bragging, or being insecure to show, oh, well, I can one up that person. Maybe instead of doing that, say, what do I really want in life? And let me put some energy to actually getting that job so I can get that car, because a lot of our energy is wasted. And while we're bringing it elsewhere, we can't bring it inward. So that is what I want people to think, and all these things that you give energy is neurologically, it's neurologically working in your brain. It's a map. It's set. So that's why the more you redo it, the more you need to do it. So you just keep doing the same thing, needing to do it because it's what you literally have to say, you got to step out of the subconscious world into the conscious and say, what do I need to pull out of my life so that I can focus more on me and get what I want? What is it that I want? And the thing is, you have to be clear on what you want. When you have,
go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, what I want to say is when you're giving yourself to all these different things, your body's out of balance. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, your body's out of balance, and it's a cocktail. It's like an adrenaline cocktail of cortisol and adrenaline. It's a cocktail. And you can't make wise decisions. You can't create what you want to create because you're in fight and flight response.
Yeah.
And that is why, like, if someone dies, they say, whatever you do, don't sell your house. Don't do something drastic, because Yes, because they know you're in fight and flight. Don't make a move. So what happens is, because we've got so much going on in this outer world and we live like we're running away from a Tyrannosaurus Rex with huge giant fangs, when it's really just traffic. It's really just our coworker is the dinosaur. We have this like response that we are just triggering, triggering like these chemicals. Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, I just need water. But it's triggering.
Water, because I have something to say.
Okay, so it's just, but it's just triggering, and it's all chemical.
Yeah.
So honestly, you literally need to say, this doesn't work for me. And I need to literally empty out what I have inside, make room for what I want to create.
Yeah. Now,
say what you say.
I know with what you were saying, it's interesting because I know that I believe in a previous talk we talked about like the addiction to an addiction to stress, an addiction to distraction.
Yes. Yeah, addiction to
and this we're starting to get into the lines of codependency here, right?
Yes.
Where if you're giving your attention to something else, to complaining, to gossiping, to what a coworker is or isn't doing, what your kids are or aren't doing, you're right. You're not asking yourself, what do I want? Because maybe you're afraid, right? Maybe that means going back to school. Maybe it means changing a relationship. Maybe it means changing jobs. It might be something so scary that it's easier to keep yourself in this loop, this circle of all these things. Like as you were saying them and I was writing them, I'm going, ooh. Now, thankfully, there's a lot of them. Like I really wouldn't say gossip. I know you talked about that. You and I, even in conversations, because as our viewers may know, we know each other since second grade. So sometimes when we're talking, oh, what's this one doing? Oh, what's that one doing? And we just give like a little update. We don't go listen to it like, hey man, did you hear about their divorce? Ooh, no, like that's not part of the way we talk about
because we know that it spiritually would bring us down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good to hear bad news. Like even being addicted to the news, it's like that affirms your you might want to be angry. Like, let me watch this. And blah, blah, blah.
If you compare, it's a false way of feeling good about yourself. right? The one thing you didn't mention, and this was a big one, unless you mentioned it and I missed it, is the
Yeah.
news.
I had the news.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did have the
Maybe I didn't
news.
say it, but I have the news in
Oh
here. Yeah.
man, the news is, and then
Didn't I just say that a second ago?
you might have.
I said, yeah, it's like the news being
Maybe when
addicted.
I wrote it, you hadn't said it yet. That's what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But okay, so
Okay.
when it comes to the news, what then that also kicks up is all these conversations of people having a different opinion, meaning that you're wrong and I'm right.
Hmm.
And it's just a
Yes.
different opinion,
And that's
right?
your addiction to anger.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, but sometimes too, the news is too much. And if you have a very sensitive spirit, you have to know what you can take.
Yeah.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Don't hurt your spirit when you have to be a mommy, when you have to do a job where you have to, you want to be healthy for your family. And if that is taking your energy and bringing your spirit down, you don't want to be mindless, but
Yeah.
you want to protect your spirit.
I mean,
So don't see the
yeah,
pictures.
there's a way, it's not easy for us to get objective information because the news
Hmm.
is a business, right? So they
Of
wanted, I
course.
remember like, don't eat tuna from a can. Watch today, and then I wound up having to watch all the way to the end of the half hour because I had kids and we ate tuna and I was afraid, right? So it was like the last like 40 seconds they said some silly thing. I'm like, I watched the whole half hour, right? But now that's a minor example compared to some of the stuff that's going on
Yeah.
now, which I don't want to go on a tangent. But yeah, it's huge. People, and as you mentioned with social media now, um, people they post their what's good and fun and happy, right? Which is fine, right? Because as you had
Yeah.
said, you want to know they had a birthday party or that look at it or look at how great the kids are growing or they're celebrating someone's accomplishment. Like graduation is going to be coming up now, right? So we're going to start to see a lot of graduations on Facebook.
Yes. And I love all that.
It's
It's great.
wonderful. It is. It's great. But don't compare
Mhm.
yourself to that, right? Like,
Right.
oh, like, because you're seeing highlight reels. But then also,
Right.
what happens with social
And what
media?
people want you to see.
What?
And what people want you to see.
Yeah, I'm
You're
not
seeing what
posting.
people want you to
There was
see.
one morning, I know. So I'll tell everyone a little thing about Janice. Janice has dogs she needs to walk, but she doesn't want to go out in the morning and walk them, but until she has a certain look. So one morning, and I have just backyard, because she has
Yeah.
backyard in her sometimes, but not right now.
I have to go in an elevator. I
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
go
you have
down.
to be
I don't
seen it.
want to 40
And not to
people.
say, I'm not in that situation, so I'm not judging, right? But anyway, so one morning I had my hair, I slept with my hair in some type of a clip up here. When I woke up, it was like half over here, half sticking up, and I sent you a picture. I go, hey, Janice, when I get on the elevator, I could have put that on Facebook and said, look at the way I woke up today. It would be funny, that we don't tend to do that. We put our, like my hair looks nice today thing on
Well,
Facebook.
My husband calls me Tom Sawyer because now he's got to wake up early and walk the dog because I need my morning routine and my coffee and I like my hair on top of my head in the morning and I like to relax. I'm like, I just cannot do this. Wake up, get my makeup. I feel like rushed. I'm like, I can't do my morning like this. So now they're doing that. Krista and Erasmus are doing the night shift. And he's like, wait, he was saying your dogs. He's like, you're Tom Sawyer.
But that we just
On
talked
the
about morning
job
routine. You need to do certain things that make you feel ready for the day. And
It's funny.
putting a hat on and glasses and not feeling put together in the way that you love, the way your skin feels
Yeah,
comfortable,
yeah,
and getting on an
yeah,
elevator and seeing people,
yeah,
then you
yeah.
end up with another solution. So
Yes, that's right.
this is fabulous. And you know what? Not only do we take a look at codependency here, avoiding our own dreams by focusing on what other people are or aren't doing. You also brought up
Hmm.
thoughts and how we need to reframe our thoughts. I've talked about first thought, second thought.
Yes, yes,
We've talked a
amazing.
lot about thoughts and how to catch yourself and how powerful they are. Um, but
And
then,
right there, the day you catch your thought, that is your growth. when you catch that thought that doesn't serve you, that right there, you are breaking those neurotransmitters. You're breaking them
You have the
and you're
opportunity.
creating
Yep.
a positive one.
You have the
So
opportunity to
every time
replace
you
it.
do that, even when you meditate and it's hard to meditate, you find like you're drifting and you're starting to think about your bills or whatever, wherever you go, you know what you have to do? Just like, oh, bring yourself
Yep.
back. And that's
Yep.
growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Not
doesn't mean you
judge.
can't do it or you're not good at, you can't be good. You can't not be good at meditation. It just takes practice. Everything takes practice to rewire in the
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other thing that you brought up,
Mm.
and this is challenging. I know, for myself, for right, it's saying no. It's when you need to
Oh,
say no.
vitamin N.
What?
Vitamin N.
But
That's a,
I
yeah.
love that. I'm gonna write
It's called
that down on my
vitamin
paper
N.
right here. Vitamin N,
Yes. That's what
Janice.
you call it. Vitamin N. You know, a lot of people need it. Vitamin N. You
It's
have to
not
say no.
easy. Yeah, it's not
It's not.
easy. Yep. Yeah.
Because when you're a people pleaser,
Mm-hmm.
you say yes to them, you say no to you.
Yes.
When you say yes to them, you give less to you. And that's energy. That's another thing. Like, friends, oh, that friend that always needs a favor, and you're like draining yourself, giving less to maybe even your own family, your children,
Yeah.
so you have to really, this is a great exercise because you'll see where you're giving your energy and you're making a conscious decision to give less to maybe your friend, to maybe even remove a friend, boss, you might say, oh my gosh, every time I think of my boss, I think of judgment. Oh, let me get rid of the judgment and just deal with,
Yes.
what I
Exactly.
need to
Yep.
do.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's that second thought that
Yeah.
comes with
Yeah.
it. You can get
And
rid of that energy.
it's easier to decipher and say yes or no, because we're certainly not saying never help anybody. But for myself, the more when I'm in the practice of really getting
Mhm.
grounded and just starting my day and over a consistent period of time, right? Because I've had gaps of time, especially when I worked in Manhattan. My work day was 12 hours door to door. Like it's hard to get up earlier and get yourself grounded.
Mhm.
So but when I'm really centered and grounded, and that is my main sense, then someone can ask me sense, not scent. I smell centered and grounded. So if someone were to ask me for a question to
Mhm.
help, right, which is going to disrupt my routine for the day, I get to make a decision. All right, I could reschedule, I could do this, I could do that. Yeah, I can help them, right? So it's coming from a place, it's coming from a healthy decision, not, oh, I got to drop everything, go help them so they to people please, right?
Mhm.
So it's saying no with it saying yes or no from a grounded place, from a place of good intention. So
And it feels good because I definitely was that person to had to work on saying no. It's hard for me to say no. It's work that it's hard for me to say no. And it does take an effort for me
yeah,
to say no, but I'm getting better.
we all are. We're not.
It's a work in
Yeah,
progress.
that's what. It's excellent that you brought that up because you and I are having this conversation. We're talking about skills that we've strengthened. We're talking about awarenesses that we have. We're talking about things that we've studied. So in this moment, we'll look at this is our highlight reel.
Yeah, yeah.
you know, I'm always, always, always looking at something for personal growth for myself. It's never, ever ending. And I'm not sorry. I love it. And then thank goodness though I don't go like, oh man, again, like Annie years ago. Like I think at my age now, some things that I kept repeating are kind of in the past. Thank goodness. It's like, again, you got to learn that again. So, but my big shift over the last year, and I think this will be a good time to bring up vision
Yeah.
boards, right? So let me bring up I use boxes, and I'll explain why. There is someone you can look up. Her name is Esther Hicks. And
Oh
one of
yeah.
the things that it was a pretty recent video or something on YouTube, was there are vision boards. And what you do with a vision board, it's very similar to what I do when I do the visualization. You put pictures of what you want, and you may even
Yes.
have it, but what you want. So if you want to have a certain type of a wardrobe, or you want to have a certain car or a relationship, whatever it is that you would like to have in your life, you put all those pictures there. And you take on the important part of it is living in having the emotion of what it's going to be when you have that. It's not looking at it going, oh, I wish I had that car. Oh, I'm never. That's not it. It's like, has it? What would it feel like to have that car? Just, and it's the same feelings as when you're laughing at a movie, or it's the same feeling as you're hanging out with friends. It's not like a brand new emotion, but it's,
Mm-hmm.
having it like have. I happen to love my car. I don't even know the year. It's a 2007 or a 2008. I'm not a car person. It's a Scion TC. Got like
Mm-hmm.
80,000 miles on it. I could, along the way, I could have gotten myself a newer car. I love my car. I don't, I'm going to have my car for a long, long, long time. I love my car. Anyway, I got off on tangent. So when you do a vision board, a lot of times people are like, oh, yeah, that's hokey. It doesn't work. It's not just putting pictures on a board. It's what you
Mm-hmm.
really, really want. What's going to fire you up? What's the light
Like
that you,
Spice Girls, what you want, what you really, really want, what you want, what you want,
So
what you
what
really,
I did, because I get back to Esther Hicks, she had said have a box with a hole in it, and
uh-huh.
what you're going to do is think thoughts that you want to activate. So a lot of times there'll be something that I want to have, like a
Mm-hmm.
title to a class or post, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Something with my help, something with a family member. I'll write it on a piece of paper and I'll put it in here. This is the activate box. So things that are
I
going to
love it.
activate,
Love it.
and things I
Yep.
want to like deactivate, right? I
Ah,
also have a
uh-huh.
deactivate box. Now, mind you, this one's not really, I think I have a female superhero on here or something like that. So if it is a limiting belief or something, I'm afraid of something or that type of thing, that goes in the deactivate box. Now, the cool thing, this is so incredible. When you make these things, and the miracles of progress are not visible until you look back, right? So what happened was
Yeah.
I was doing this vision board or box, right? There's something on
Mm-hmm.
here. It's called the trip that changed my life.
Uh-huh. I
I'm
love it.
I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
tell a time. So because I want to start vacationing, right? Things are opening up. I want to
Right,
start
right.
vacationing. Last April, April 2021, I had COVID.
Okay.
I had been very consistently, aggressively, not aggressive, but I had been really looking for another job because I had my previous job was eliminated due to downsizing from COVID. So
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for work, and then I wound up getting COVID and being in bed and needing a lot of sleep and a lot of rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I was planning on still doing a lot of job searching, even though I was in bed, and that didn't happen because I just didn't have the energy. So I wound up futzing around and I came across this YouTube channel. It's called The Behavior Panel. So I'm going to put
Oh,
down a
yes.
link, right? The Behavior Panel.
Uh-huh.
It's four different men that specialize in body language and interrogation, that type of thing. And what they'll do is they'll take a current event, and it might be a little video clip or even long, even they think they did one on OJ Simpson. And they will evaluate the blink rate and the body language, and they'll, the way the person is looking this way or that way, or
Mm-hmm.
recalling a memory or making up a lie like this, it's so incredibly interesting that
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching them ever since, and I really like them. And then each of them have their own, like one of the gentlemen, his name is Chase Hughes, he has his own YouTube channel, and I wind up watching that sometimes. So that week, the same week I had COVID, I'm a big fan of Mike Dooley. I bring it up here quite often. He had a talk, he had a free webinar that I watched, and at the end of it, it discussed becoming an infinite possibilities trainer, and to go through this train the train
Yes.
program, right? But now I was planning on going back to a corporate job. So that that Saturday morning, I watched that webinar on Friday because I always wanted to do what I'm doing now. This is I
Yes.
wanted to have my own business, but I was afraid.
Yes.
So I wanted
Yes.
the paycheck, I wanted the 401k, I wanted the insurance. So Saturday morning, the minute my eyes opened, I said, Annie, stop looking for a job. Well, I mean, I was on unemployment, so I had to keep technically looking for a job, but create your own business. And I have never, ever, ever looked back. April 2021, this is a year later, and I've made so much.
And you feel like because you put the energy in the box, that you put the
No, no,
energy
let
you're
me
in.
let me talk about the box now. So what happened is
Yeah.
this is now called the trip that changed my life. So
Yes.
A, I discovered the behavior panel. B, I decided to have my own business. April 2021. Now I'm starting off, I'm a divorce coach. I'm really good at helping people,
Yes.
as we
Yes. That
talk
I,
here, yeah, come out of a traumatic loss. In the
right.
past, I used to teach stranger danger and abduction prevention, and I would love to get back into that. So Chase Hughes, this body language expert, that type of thing, he's having a training this month down in Miami. And
Yeah.
when I found out about it, I'm like, I have to go to that. I'm going to go to that. I'm going to learn. I'm going to update my skills, and I'm going to wind up teaching adult and child safety, stranger danger,
Mhm. Yes.
along with my own business, right?
Yes.
So in the meantime, this had already been created. So now I'm so excited about this trip. I'm taking all these actions with my business. And when I picked this box up one day and it said, the trip that changed my life, I was like,
Mhm.
I'm going to see Chase. I'm going to get trained by Chase Hughes. And then it dawned on me. I
Wow.
found out about him in April 2021. That's when I decided I was going to do my own business. And here we are a year later. I'm going to get training from him that's going to wind up impacting my business. So that is an example of a vision board. When I did this, the trip that changed my life, I wanted to travel.
Yeah.
I like, if at the time I would have thought like, oh, go somewhere, like I haven't seen the Grand Canyon yet. But that is a powerful, powerful example of what can happen. The vision
Yes.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be going on it, and you'll hear more about that. I'll be able to read body language.
So that energy that you put out, that energy that you put in that box, that creation that you put together and your thoughts and the energy, if you don't find it, it finds you. It will find you. I've heard so many stories after people do vision boards, so you could make a box, you could have a vision board, you can have a photo album and do it in a photo album,
Yep.
make,
Yeah.
yes, you could do a vision book,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
um, but people have told me, I've heard hundreds of stories. There's famous people also like
Jim Carrey.
Jim
Yep.
Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah. That they write it down and they say when you write it down, there's something powerful that happens, something supernatural that happens. It comes alive. It comes alive. So every time I want something, I write it down. So I did this little exercise. Okay. And I love it, Annie. And it's so amazing. I mean, this is something you put in the atmosphere and you're still thinking you're going in one direction, but here you are not feeling well, watching Chase Hughes,
Yep.
and it, like, kind of just fell onto your computer, into your path, and you're like, wow, he's interesting. Oh, let me look some more. Oh, wow. And then all of a sudden you are going on this trip,
Yep.
to learn even more and add to your career.
Yeah.
It is really amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm not shocked at all. I hear it consistently with people who have done vision boards,
Yeah.
including a husband, engagement, jobs, money, cars. It's really amazing what a vision board and that energy that you start putting into things that you want, that it does come back to you.
Yeah.
It really comes back. That's a great story. Thank you so
I
much
know.
for
I
sharing.
did take out time telling it, but it's like from April, and I didn't, when I saw that, I said, oh man,
That is amazing.
I was
That's amazing.
shocked. Yeah. So I love what you're about to show us.
Okay, so what I'm going to show you is the thing to create energy. The first thing you need is a clear intention. What is it that you want to be? And I really think that our viewers should write on their mirror, who is the person I was born to be? And you could start with, what did you want to be as a child? Because a lot of times those dreams that we had as a baby, like younger, sometimes it's an astronaut, but those dreams that we have, as a child is what we want to be, a baker, a school teacher, an actress, those dreams. Then we were told, oh, you can't be an actress. You know how hard it is to be an actress? And then we learned to be somebody else. So the question is, who is the person you were born to be? Not the person you learned to be, the person you were born to be. And I want you can't even answer that like right now, because it really is very thoughtful question that you have to think about, because you have so much that was learned that it's even hard to find who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a little bit of work. So the first thing is a clear intention. And then, all right, so this is what I did. So you have your clear intention. So I want to be a hypnotist. I told you that. I already went for my interview. I have, I think, one more to go. I'll find out on Monday. But I want to be a hypnotist with Marissa Peer. I have been following her. I love her work.
Love her.
Yes, yeah. She's amazing. And what I found is that, we all operate from our subconscious mind. Like 80% of us are working from the subconscious mind, not even the conscious. And if we really want to make changes, we have to step from the unconscious mind into the conscious. And I know with the hypnosis that I'm going to be able to help my clients even better than what I'm helping them and quicker. Yeah. So what I did is, so I want the viewer to think about what is it you want to be, a very clear intention. Okay. So I want you to make whatever that is. I did it a circle and I made the letter H because I want to be a hypnotist. Yeah. So if you want to be a teacher, or you want to be whatever it is, married, whatever it is you want to be, just put it in the center. And then I made these squiggly lines around it. And that's the magnetic force that I am putting out, my magnetic force that I'm putting out into the universe, okay? The squiggly lines. And then you see it's like jetting out. This is the endless field where all possibilities exist, okay? So it's like this is the energy and I'm putting it out in the field. How do I get to the energy? I had to have, on the left side, I want you to write your intention. Your intentions are your thoughts. So for me, I want to be a hypnotist. You could just like do 4, but when I got to the emotions, I couldn't even stop with my emotions. I was like, it was just coming out of me. But my intention is, if I'm a hypnotist, 1, I will help more people faster, problem solving, getting them from the unconscious to the conscious. 2, I get to love what I do and I get to learn more. And you talked about learning, like it's so true. Tony Robbins says, if you're not learning, you're dying. You're dying. Always be in the process of learning, and I believe that. I'm always reading. I have books. You Are the Placebo. I am always reading.
Oh, that's part of my morning routine too, is mine. Yeah. It's listening.
Yes. I am always learning. I want to be the best self, my best authentic self. I want to know who I am, not who I learned to be, but who I truly am and what I want. So I want to be a hypnotist. So I know that I get to even learn more about the brain and the subconscious and the neurons and the transmitters. 3, work from anywhere. That's another good, intention. I have another good thought. I can work from anywhere and I can help anyone everywhere. So that really
wow. Yep.
Yeah. And then there's nothing wrong with making more money and what excited me is I'll have an office, like, because I always work from home. I work, right now I'm in my vanity, but I would love an office, where I actually, and I have another idea that I'm not going to say, but I have some ideas, but that's what I want. And that's what I want to create. So I have my H. Okay. Now to get to that energy, I have to elevate my emotions. What is elevated? So on the next side, in the middle of whatever you have in the middle, what do you have in the middle?
Me?
For you, what is it?
I have E for entrepreneur. So it's my own business.
Okay.
Yeah.
E. Yeah. Okay. So you have E. So now elevated emotions on the other side. So for me, my feelings, and again, I had to stop, but I was feeling it. And really, when you do a vision board or you do this, I'm asking you to get in touch with your heart and your mind, to get in touch with that feeling. And if you don't have a feeling coming up, picture petting a dog. Picture something that's easy to love, something that, is easy for you to have energy. Yes. If you're a political person, picture you with the president, picture you with, something that brings your energy, that spikes your energy, and feel it and then shift it. and bring it to where you need to bring it. So so my elevated feelings is I'm going to empower my clients and myself. Like this is like freaking empowering for not to like for me, like I feel like, oh my God, I'm going to see results so fast. I'm going to get to the root cause and then I'm going to give them the cure. I'm going to say the words. I'm going to give them the meditation designed just for them. Like they're going to be so empowered. They're going to get their life back. I'm empowered. They're empowered. Then the second one, mission accomplished, because that is what I wanted to do. I just felt mission accomplished. Three, unlimited, um, unlimited future for everyone, the unlimited possibilities, the generous present moment. It's generous, it's unlimited, like it's exciting, the new beginning, a new beginning for everybody. It's new, it's fresh, so happy. Accomplished creation, freedom, and also gratitude.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have to have your intention, write it down. You write it down, it comes, it comes to life. Okay, elevated emotion, feel it, close those eyes, feel it, feel what does it look like, not like, oh, like you said before, I wish that I was a hypnotist. Oh no, I am. And I see myself in my office, and I even see my high heels and my suit and my briefcase. And I see patients one after the other with a smile and a new freedom and a new beginning. And I see it and I feel it.
All your five senses. That's awesome. The details. Oh, I love it. High heels and a suit.
So you have to do the circle. Did you do the squiggly lines around the circle?
That I didn't do. No, I just did the E.
You have to put that. That's the electromagnetic field.
Okay.
Put that around. You need to generate that around your whole body to match the potential to the quantum field. So you're literally teaching your body what it feels like to be her, to be that girl. And you're literally making new pathways, But again, Annie, there's something so important in all this. If your energy is going out to foolish things, stresses that you don't need to have, which, bitterness, things that don't serve your body, things that, give you cancer, you need to pull them out. You need to pull them out and give yourself gene markers that, will give you health. Not gene markers that give you disease, but gene markers that give you health.
And for any listener that realizes you do have a lot of resentments, you have a habit of getting angry, you do have a habit of judging.
Yes.
That's perfectly fine. Just know that you want to start to go in a new direction. Right. I mean, I used to, right. I was big time victim. I blamed everybody and everything. So I was able to change. So listening to Janice and I with our conversations, we have quite a few different videos so far, is a help. And this, as we both of us just said, there's so many different resources, and then you find yours. So
can you share what you wrote?
Oh, well, I didn't have a lot of time. So I didn't really go because I would needed some more time to go through the thoughts and the emotions.
I'm sorry.
But it would be similar to so my intentions with my business right now as a divorce coach are to, especially for people that feel traumatized or victimized, or to help them come in off the edge where they just have the feelings I remember of anxiety and perseverating thoughts, and like you had taught the heightened fight or flight. Just it's magical for me to think that the skills and tools that I have now, I've created an online course, and someone can take this online course and learn the things that I've done to bring them in. So just as you had said, like, I have the ability to help people heal in a much shorter way than what I was able to, right? And then I'm creating my own business, which gives me an opportunity to design my own schedule so that, when I was working 8 to 5, I worked 8 to 5. Like, that was my job. I had a lot of integrity. I worked from home for 8 years. So I didn't play around. But now I have the ability to, I take care of my mom. She's getting older. I'm not pleased
Mm-hmm.
with me. So I don't start, I'm not here at my desk at 8 a.m. I need to take care of other things. So maybe I might close
Right.
at to 10 a.m., right? But I have the ability to, so those are the thoughts. Um, the emotions are incredible gratitude, passion, um, so much peace to think that that I was able to help somebody not feel
Mm-hmm.
so desperate and pride, proud of myself,
Okay.
courageous because
Uh-huh.
I've avoided it for so long. And then you had said the last thing, I have something here about something potential. It reminded me of something that might be I was like, this sounds like a super, like universal potential to match potential
Unlimited possibilities,
on the,
the generous present moment. Was it that, the generous
to
present
match, well, oh,
moment?
so the energy will match my emotions, but so that's what I
That, yeah.
also have on there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you know what? So after you do all that, okay, after you actually feel, because again, you write the letter, like I had H, you had A. You write your letter, you put it on paper, it comes alive. You feel that energy. You do that squiggly line around it, the circle, you just follow the circle 2 times. And that's the energetic magnetic field that you're connecting to your body, your mind, your heart, your whole soul. Okay. And you're bringing it out into the atmosphere. And then another thing that you do after you feel it and you see it and you discuss your intention and you feel those emotions, the last thing you do you know what that would be?
What?
Surrender.
Yes.
Surrender.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Surrender. And I had to tell you, so when I did this whole thing and I was writing it out to share it today, I had a vision that I was planting. The seed is already there.
Yeah.
And I was watering. I had a watering can and the seed, my H, I had my H, it was already an H. And an apple seed is always an apple seed. It's never an orange, it's an apple. So I'm already have my H.
Yeah.
It already is. So I just saw myself watering it and nurturing it and loving the H. So like, meditate on that. Like if you're, whatever you see in your mind, meditate it, see it as a seed, water it,
Mm-hmm.
nurture it, love it, own it, and surrender it. Let go, let God, surrender it. And you know what? It will find you. If you don't find it, it will find
It's
you.
the
And
GPS. Yep. It's the
yeah,
GPS. Will be like
yes.
the trip of a lifetime. Well, and I
And you will
think that's
see
what it
when
is
you
now. There
write
might
it.
be another one. There might be trips of my lifetime.
That's right. That's right. Because you know what? When you start writing it and you start putting it, also you start taking action.
Yeah.
Before you can ever manifest something and you feel it, suddenly it makes you want to take action. It makes you want to do things, and you'll start taking the action that will put you in that vibration where something will come your way,
Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah. I love it. I
I
love
think
it.
that's it.
Yeah.
Let it find you. Oh, okay. And the very last thing after you surrender it, you know what you do? I can't believe I would even leave this out, but I bless everything. I
Mm.
bless everything. I bless my body. I bless my soul. I bless my age. I bless it. I bless my future. I bless my past. And I always tell people, don't live in your past, but you are who you are and you are strong because of your
Yes.
past.
Yep.
So bless that past,
Yeah.
that past. I bless my food. I bless my food. I am grateful. I give thanks to God. I love God. So I just like, I always ended
Yeah.
on a blessing. And we can bless everything. We can bless everything. I have holy water in my house. You could always bless and just, when you have your food, thank the chicken that gave its life for you. And when you do this, you feel grateful. People who have a problem not feeling grateful, they're not realizing their gifts.
Mm.
They don't realize gratitude. They don't realize the beauty in the ocean, the beauty in the tree. They don't realize they have a body that works. They're so busy
Yeah.
worrying about what their friends said and just living on the negativity of that because their addiction to suffering.
Yeah. And as you just said, and we brought it up a minute ago, like if someone does have an addiction to suffering, I was I was addicted to being a victim, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until I realized that. I mean, I was happy. I wasn't a miserable person, but once
Yeah.
I realized I had an addiction to being a victim. That was
Yeah.
when it set me free, the same way we talk about forgiveness. That's when I was set free, and I said, wait a minute here.
Because you had an
I'm
awareness.
responsible. Yep, I'm responsible for myself. And that's what then gave me complete control to make the
Mm-hmm.
to not base anything of my internal state or my energy. I said, I'm in
Mm-hmm.
control of this. So if I get cranky or hangry, I'm the one who didn't eat. I don't blame anybody else. So
Right.
yeah, that's a that was a big one. So thank you.
Because you
Great.
you suddenly had clarity. You
Mm-hmm.
started taking
Yeah.
courses, you went through therapy, and you had clarity. And clarity is everything.
Yeah.
Clarity is everything. And that's why before when you were saying what you want, that's why I always do the Spice Girls song, even though I'm a horrible singer. Yeah, what you want, you really, because really, what is it that you want? You really, really don't just tell me what you want. No, what do you really, really
Yeah.
want?
Yeah. Yep.
And
Oh,
you
true.
actually, you went there. You actually went there, and then I just sang it badly.
No, it was wonderful.
So one thing I would add also, when we're being mindful of our energy, is the foods we eat, the things that are healthy and the things that are not.
Yeah.
What is healthy would be eggs. That gives you lots of energy. Salmon, sweet potato, broccoli, lentils, bananas. These are like healthy, energetic foods that you can eat that help you with
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
Vitamins, B12, there's a lot of vitamins too that you can look up. But, taking vitamins and, just being kind to your body, doing yoga and, being mindful, not just of your words to make them impeccable, but also what you eat.
Yes. Anything that goes into your body. I heard something a long time ago about how to eat in a healthy way,
Mm-hmm.
and because I'm a person that's like blueberries are a superfood, like they're blueberries are good, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
I love blueberry.
that's my like I'm like blueberries are good, eat blueberries. That's the
Yes,
extent of my
exactly.
antioxidants and it helps this and helps
Yes,
like
yes, yes,
yeah
yes.
that's all
We have
one like
to help our
I
bodies.
read it a few times. I have in my head blueberries are good. So a
Yeah.
really easy way to know how to eat that's going to really nourish your body is to eat food as close to its original form as possible. So an apple is better than applesauce, which is better than apple
Yes.
juice, right? So eat it as close to its original form. And now that doesn't apply to like go bite the side of a cow, but a steak is better than chopped meat. Like
Right, 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 right.
so eat food as close to its original form, and then also, especially when it comes to vegetables, have as many different colors as possible. So make sure there's red and like the blueberries, which are technically purple. I think George Carlin said there really is no blue food. So there's yellow squash, and then there's carrots, which are orange, and there's all the green, and there's all different colors of fruit. There's red apple and different colors of grapes. So eat food as close to its original form as possible and all the different colors. So that's one
Yeah.
way to just be easily mindful of how to eat. The other thing is when it comes to shopping, that tends to put you on the outside of the store, right? That's where all the more perishable foods are, the dairy and the
Yes.
meats and the eggs. Because once you get into the inside aisles, there's more
Yes.
preservatives. Things can
Yes.
last longer on the inside. So
Yes.
if you were going to eat a cookie, enjoy your cookie. However, a bakery cookie or a cookie that's going to go stale quicker is better than
Yes.
packaged cookie, right? So just
Yes.
simple things like that to have in mind. I'm not saying don't eat cookies. Believe me, I know how to pound down a cookie like anything. But so that's another thing is the more preservatives it has, the longer it will stay in your body, not necessarily in a
Yeah.
good way. Now, when it comes to energy and food, you talked about being really mindful of the types of foods that you can eat that give you energy. I know for myself, it's part of actually being an alcoholic is being a sugar addict, right? as a kid, right?
Mhm.
And then because alcohol turns into a sugar. So very often when you have, I'm a recovering alcoholic, right? But a lot of alcoholics, if they go back and look at the way they had been prior to drinking, they would have had this sugar addiction. Anyway, so sugar for me really drains my energy, and I know that if we go
My,
into, yeah, that
I
you
feel
get
it.
the insulin kick, and then it crashes, and then you want more, and it crashes, and you want more. So if me personally, if I'm going to eat any sweets, I do it after dinner at the end of the day, because if I were to eat sugar now in the middle of the day, I might get hyperactive like an 8-year-old.
I need a nap.
And then
I
yeah,
sugar
and then
is
I crash. Like
my friend.
if I'm gonna have, and I love pancakes with butter and syrup. I probably eat
I
it like
have my
once
favorite.
every 3 years. I've eat it like once every 3 years at the diner, a New York diner. So it's not, believe me, it's not anything on my regular list. But if I am gonna eat it, I'm gonna enjoy it. But it's going to be a late night visit to the diner. It's not going to be in the morning, because if I were to eat that in the morning, my entire day is hijacked. It's like the opposite of spending the time meditating and getting yourself centered. If I
Yes,
start my
exactly.
day with crappy food, I
Chemicals.
feel
You start the
crappy for
day
the
with
rest of the day.
chemicals.
Yep.
You know what's interesting? We need to live as though we're a caveman, okay? Like caveman times. If the food doesn't roam, you shouldn't eat it. If the food you should only eat things. It's like the R's. If it's raw, you can eat it. If it roams, you can eat it. If you can recognize the ingredients, you can eat it. If you can recreate the food in your kitchen, that you see in the supermarket, you can eat it. So honestly,
Interesting.
the body, the cookies, like, think about it. Do you want to eat something that doesn't rot? If it doesn't rot on the shelf, that cookie, it doesn't rot in your
No,
stomach.
it stays.
You know, it, it doesn't rot. It's disgusting. There's something so disgusting that, I'm not going to say
I'm not gonna say
it.
it.
But the thing is that if it doesn't rot, you shouldn't eat it. If there's preservatives in it, you're putting chemicals in your body, you just shouldn't eat it. And that is a part of self-love. When you honor your body and you say, sometimes if you want the cookie, do it. But honestly, I like to make my own cookies, because your body can recognize it and break it down, but your body can't break it down. If it can't break down on the shelf for 3 years, you can have an Oreo on the shelf. Do you really think you're going to eat it and magic's happening? It sits there forever. It's disgusting.
You know,
It's just like,
there are
the thought
people.
of it is like disgusting to
Yeah,
me.
there's actually stores that have expired food, and people go there and buy the expired food because really it's still good. And it's
Yeah.
like those people, like penny pinchers,
Yes.
yeah. But
Yes.
now
Yes.
again, I want to bring up the same thing for people again. If you want to change, if you like Janice and I are saying, all right, eat on the outside, but you have a whole routine of McDonald's and whatever, I look, man, you brought up Oreos. I love Oreos. I love Nutter Butters too.
So do
I
I.
just
I
I
eat it.
just
So
don't
do
eat
I.
them that often. Like they can't be in that, right. Anyway. So
No, if there were, oh my
just
gosh.
in I don't have them in moderation.
But I just think of, like, you look at the ingredients, you don't even know what it is. And they say, like, do not, if you can't recognize the ingredients, keep going. If you can't eat it raw, if you can't grow it, if it doesn't roam, eat like a caveman. The caveman, our DNA, our genes didn't change.
Yeah.
That, oh, now I know what this chemical is. And, it doesn't know the pest, it doesn't know what it
Yeah.
is. And this is why we're getting sick. And it does rob our energy. Some of it
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely robs the
So
energy.
to quickly finish up what I was saying, and then I think we should do a final chit chat out,
Yes.
so people will,
And go
yeah.
home. Can relax.
Um, uh, so for anybody that's now listening to what Janice and I said right now, I have cleaned up my eating routine a lot, right? So I would
Mhm.
consider myself having a very healthy eating routine. Far from, and nothing's perfect. Believe me, I have my Oreos, I have my pancakes every few years a night. So if you're far away from that, the same way we talked about, if you're listening to us and you have anger and resentment and that, be graceful. It's perfectly fine. To change the way that you eat means that you have to change the way you shop, which means that changing your timing of when you shop, means changing potentially meal planning and meal prep and the way you're cooking. So be graceful with yourself. You now have something new in mind.
Mhm.
I knew about this long before I was able to put it into action. So, yeah,
Yes.
be mindful. Oh man, I was that person. You know what? No, no, no. I want to feel better. Or Oreo.
You know what,
Yeah.
Annie, too? Like, so you love your visualization, and we did the visual board, and you brought energy to that board. So if you want like something that's not healthy, start looking at pictures of healthy food.
Mhm.
That actually helps you. It gives you energy to want to go shopping and buy healthy
Yeah.
food. Put a picture on the refrigerator when you were thin. I had one of my clients, she's like, well, I was never skinny. I'm like, all right, take your head, get a picture of a skinny girl that you like, or a
Oh,
girl in a
that's
bathing suit,
true. That's true for vision
like
board.
whatever that is. Put your head on and put it on your refrigerator. When you could see the image, and on your refrigerator, out of sight, out of mind, 80% of sales go up because they know, like when you go to Macy's, you go to the store, they put the cookies, they put chocolate bars in front of you where you're going to the checkout counter because they know that there's a percentage. Why do they have a dessert trolley that rolls by? Because they know that they have an 80% chance that you're going to bite with that dessert tray because you see it. So one trick to do is you take the sugar out of sight. If you have children, put it in a container that you can't see it. Because when you open up that refrigerator or that cabinet and you see the Oreos and the chocolate chips, you're going to want one. But if you just, simple thing, putting it in a container that you can't see the Oreo, your mind's going to tell you, oh my God, you won't get energy. That's going to say, eat all the Oreos.
I,
Hopefully there's one for my child.
and
You
real
know,
quick, and then we probably should really wrap up. Another thing that you were just talking about with supermarket stuff, I have heard. I just recently saw that specifically the cereal aisle. They have certain cereals at eye level of what a child would be sitting in the car.
yes, yes,
Like,
that's
mommy, I want
true.
that one.
Yes, they know. They know.
It's all
They
marketing and
know.
business, I mean, it's
It's marketing. And that is why it's designed, because they know if you see it, you want it. So you know what? Then wouldn't it make sense too that if you see healthy foods and you put them all over your refrigerator, pictures from a magazine, that you're going to want that? If you surround yourself with what you want, your energy is going to go towards that. Whatever you focus on, that
Yep.
whatever you give
As
attention,
what we
that's what
said about the
energy
energy.
flows.
Yeah. Oh, and I just
Yeah.
I just actually had a thought too with the cereal aisle. I shouldn't make it, I don't want it to be like a blanket statement that anything on the inside is not good. So, for example, in cereals, there are really healthy cereals, which are actually very convenient. For example, like there's grape nuts, and I think there's all brand. There are cereals, they tend to be on the top shelf. But there are things I'm not suggesting that everything on the inside. Also, um, I know that I would use, I'd have in my house canned, unsweetened fruit, right? Because there'd be times maybe you couldn't get some fresh fruit, unsweetened
Hmm.
applesauce. So maybe it's a nice little side thing, right? If you don't have an apple, but
Hmm.
also frozen vegetables. I use a lot of frozen vegetables to make sure that I have vegetables in my house. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But I think we've talked a lot about energy. I'm feeling actually
Yeah.
pretty good right now.
Yeah. I feel the energy. I feel the vibe.
Yep, yep, yep.
You just got to put it out
Yeah.
there.
So listeners,
And
oh, go ahead.
no, I think that really that's it. Be mindful, make your words impeccable, because if you don't and you say terrible things, you do feel it in your energy. Make sure your food is healthy, and have your goals.
I am awesome.
How's
I
your
am
energy?
wonderful. So, listeners, please do not hesitate to comment and let us know if there's a topic you would like us to talk about, because we certainly don't have a problem talking. Hit the subscribe so that you will, and the notification bell, and the thumbs up to like this video, because that's what people on YouTube that have videos do. So I'm saying all those same things. Subscribe, hit the bell, and like the video. And comment.
Yes.
Tell us what else you want to hear from us. So, my dear Janice, I think it's time for Chit-Chat out.
I'm going to chit-chat out, and I just wish everyone for a beautiful new reality and a creation of the person they truly want to be.
Absolutely. And we'll take
Yep.
you
Weed
there.
out the old and bring in the new.
We will take you there. Just keep listening to us
Yes.
slowly but surely, step by step. We will take you there. We're
Yes.
all walking each other home.
Yes.
Okay. Goodbye.
Peace out.